painter in the world. The most overrated.
You see, it depends. You're getting excited about your stuff you've got on. Lowry, right?
Yeah.
You can look at.
He really is the Brian and Michael.
No.
But
it's real, isn't it? Right?
What do you mean it's real?
It's real. You look at his picture and you see like little disabled people walking about. You see kids playing with like footballs. You've got your dad coming home from work, working in the factory. Got a little dog barking. It's life, right? And you can look at it for like 10 minutes. Go away. Go and watch telly or something for a bit. Yeah. Go back to it, and you'll see different things in it.
Really?
What is it, like one of those magic eyes?
You sure that's not a telly?
Yeah, you've been looking out the window, Carl.
You sure you weren't watching When the Boat Comes In?
People will agree with me. It's better than your stuff that you
buy. This show started off slick. Yeah. We had something to say.
No, what are you talking about? We're now discussing art.
We were taking the pick out of fat people, and now...
And now you've taken it all highbrow, Carl.
Play a record, we'll come back to fatties. Badly Drawn Boy, something to talk about on XFM 104.9. You're listening to Ricky Gervais.
Well, then Steve mentioned...
Let's just get on with we've already had a complaint.
Yeah.
Someone saying, your TV show's so good, why is your radio show so hard work, you useless fat...
Yeah.
So you can't please everyone, Carl. It's like Lowry. Some people like Lowry. Some people like that fella who did the dark painting for me.
Talking of emails, there was some guy. He doesn't mention his name, or maybe his name's Steve. But he said that he was checking out the Office DVDs. DVD's going on sale, isn't it, soon? I think the video and the DVD of The Office are going on sale soon. But he was checking it out on Amazon, and he said that it says on there, and I did check it, double check it, that it includes some special frottage. Or special frottage.
Oh,
is that how it's correctly pronounced?
Is that mutual doing it to each other?
I think it's sexual.
Or is it the rubbing up against each other?
Yeah.
It's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, is that what it is? It's where you rub up against people?
I don't know, it's something like that, yeah.
But, so there's some special frottage on there?
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
I think they mean footage.
I'm imagining so.
If you're buying it for frottage, you are going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
We're gonna. That first hour then was about eating too much, wasn't it? I think we can.
That's essentially what we talked about. Yeah.
That is probably. I read something interesting. You know, they've banned. I used to get the Guinness Book of Records every year from about the age of 10 onwards, and I went to the section like the biggest, fattest, all that, right? And there used to be gluttony records, and it was like these ridiculous looking Texans, and how many hamburgers they can eat, and of course it's just so dangerous. They've put it down to how many hamburgers you can eat in a minute now. Yeah. And so they've brought it down to things like 17. You know, they still burst their stomach with alcohol. But I remember I was watching the Big Brother when they had to break that record. Like eating sweet corn and balancing. I was thinking, who wants to beat that record? Yeah. Most of the records in the Guinness Book of Records exist because no one wants to contest them. There's one in there, a bloke there, had his picture taken with a milk bottle on his head, and it's the record for having a milk bottle on his head. Yeah. And it's like 4 days I want to go, no one wants to beat that record. And there was one in there, this is amazing, this is absolutely true, right? Last year's Guinness Book of Records, it says, in Thailand in 1980, some sort of temple or ceremony, these incense burners fell over and I think crushed people or burned people to death. 7 people died, and it's under the heading worst joss stick disaster ever. Do you reckon they're going to try and beat that one?
Oh God.
There's a guy up north, right, who's he's in the Guinness Book of Records for being able to put a car, a little Mini,
up his arse,
on his head, right? And you think, oh, that's good. But without the engine in.
I love the fact that he puts this thing that still weighs like 50 stones on his head, and you're going boo. Yeah. What do you mean he puts the Mini on his head? He
wears a little cap with a little bit of sponge on.
They all do up there.
And he picks up this Mini.
Yeah, go on.
And it takes like 2 blokes to put it on his head, and then he walks around for about 10 seconds showing off. But it doesn't have the engine in it. So I mean, if you're gonna do it.
Yeah, go the whole hog is what you're saying.
See, the reason I think he didn't do it with the engine in is because he couldn't, Carl.
Well, we'll do a motorbike or something.
My mate went to see that, what's that circus that came to London? and that was in the Camden, and it's sort of like really weird sort of gothic thing.
Oh right, yes.
And there's he said at one point this nude woman got into a jar. He went, but it was a big jar. He said it was a jar big enough for a woman.
Yeah.
People want to go boo.
Yeah.
But, get into a jam jar,
Exactly.
and I'll be applauding. But that was a big jar.
That's a jar shaped like you.
I will get into a wardrobe. Well, a big wardrobe. Yeah, I can get into that. No, I will get into the wardrobe.
I remember, I told you about this before, Rick. I was devastated I think it was a couple of years ago, when I read about that guy that won the world record for staying underground the longest. What happened, right? He got in this box, and he was buried like 10 feet underground.
It was in a pub car park in Mansfield.
And the only way he could communicate was through this tube that they had that went up to the surface, and he could talk to people, and I assume that was how he got oxygen. And it said that while he was down there, right, he began and ended a relationship with a woman. She was a passerby, she chatted to him, they start this relationship, and they ended it, right? Now, my point was, right, obviously, my luck with the ladies is not triumphant, and, I haven't got a girlfriend or whatever.
You're not Don Juan.
Well, exactly right. And what I'm saying is, when you read that there's a man 10 feet underground pulling women through a tube, you've got to sit yourself down and ask yourself some very serious questions.
Yeah.
I was a little bit, as you can imagine, a little bit upset
From
by that.
the Midlands?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A little bit devastated.
Oh, dear.
Really upset me.
Do you what is your method now of do you still throw little rocks at them and go, over here?
Yeah, there was a kid I remember at our school, Mark Johnson, when we were like 10 or something, and we were talking about Guinness Book of Records, and Mark Johnson went, yeah, I'm in the Guinness Book of Records. I thought, I'm intrigued. You're a 10-year-old. I said, go on. He went, no, does this qualify? He claimed that he was in America once, and he went to see a baseball game, and supposedly that game was the world record for the number of people in an audience for a baseball game. It was like some massive stadium, and this was the most people ever.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't count.
And he claims he was there.
I don't reckon it was listed.
Well,
I don't reckon Mark Johnson got his name on that list.
Exactly.
Ross McWhirter would be going, but that's the whole book.
But I think I remember him looking it up and going, there it is, I was there.
Yeah.
Does that count? I mean,
no, I've done a similar thing. There was an ice hockey game in Manchester.
Sure.
And they filled it. It was the arena.
Yeah.
They had an ice hockey game, and I was part of it, but I wouldn't go around bragging.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Now you've brought it up, I'm telling you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but you're not going to boast about it.
Nah.
You're not going to get a t-shirt made.
What's the best thing you've ever done?
I don't know.
Come on. What's the best thing you ever done that we will go, did you really do that, Carl?
You see, it's weird, because I've been thinking about this quite a bit. Because I'm 30 on Monday.
Are you
really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just going to try and get presents, aren't you, from the listener?
No. But
I say listener.
Yeah.
But I kind of was thinking, have I had a good 30 years?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Carl, is this going to get a bit melancholy now?
Yeah.
Because we've been having a few laughs at the expense of fat people. I'm not sure we want you to bring it down now.
No. We've been having a jolly laugh about people who are morbidly obese.
It's always when my girlfriend's working away, I always think about odd things.
Do you?
Odd times.
Doesn't she leave you shiny things or videos in so you don't get too depressed and you can...
Well, last night when I sent you that text. That was...
Right.
Right, let's play a record. This sounds intriguing, because I'm worried
it is intriguing. It's incredible. Right, play a record. Right, wait for this text that Carl sent me.
About the origins of sumo wrestling.
Yeah.
But they've sort of cut and pasted a huge ream of information from the web. Thanks very much, but we need bullet points, or not. Don't bother. You're wasting our time, frankly, with any too many sentences, proper grammar. We're talking about Ricky Gervais here.
Yeah.
So
not that I'd read the bullet points either. You'd read them too.
Exactly, but your concentration would lapse so quickly that it just needs to be keywords. Arse, sumo, things like that.
Yes, arse wipe.
Yes, arse wipe sumo, correct.
Yeah, or maybe even a picture of someone wiping an arse with a tick next to it. If you could get words out.
If you could send through the origins origins of sumo wrestling in sort of diagram or sketch form, or in a kind of comic book, or one of those flick books. That you just maybe draw a quick flick book, send that in.
But thank you very much.
Well, thanks for thinking of us.
I woke up this morning,
feeling fine.
it's not a blues song, and it went, forget it, I've made my mind up. And I thought,
Wow.
what is that? And I
Forget
phoned
it, I've made my mind.
I went, Carl, what is it? He went, oh no, it's about the text I sent you last night. I went, well, what was it? I just got this text. He went, I was just wondering, I was thinking last night. He said, supposing you had to have your hands removed,
Sure.
right? And the doctor said, well, you can either have them stay like that with stumps, or I can sew feet there. What would you have? And I was bleary-eyed, and I went, the stumps? He went, yeah. I went, alright? He went, yeah.
And then what was his follow-up text to that?
And then I got the text, it was obviously before it, and it went, and it was like quite serious. What would you do if Sarah's not doing your hands? Would you have stumps or the feet, right? Now the way, when I said he's made his mind up, and I went the stumps, he went, yeah. I think secretly he decided on the feet, but was too embarrassed to tell me.
There's a little bit of what would you do? Because
But why did you think of this? Why did you think of this?
Girlfriend's
come
away,
about?
right?
Yeah, no, that's not why you start thinking bizarre
I'll tell
surgery
you now,
devices.
right? I'll let you into my little mind, right? Last night, I had some beans on toast, right? Because she was away,
It's good already.
She was away, she had some beans on toast, she
Yeah.
went wild.
Yeah.
right? Now, I was stood up. I live on on a high street, right? So I'm washing up. I'm looking out the window. First thing that had my attention is I can look into other people's flats, right?
Yeah.
And it was weird how all these different lives were going on. I was watching them, and everybody had the telly on and was watching Volcano, right? Which was on last night.
Right.
And I thought, oh, that's weird, right? I can see them all watching it. And it was like a little Chinese lad who was dancing around in some underpants. And then there's a little old woman who lives downstairs who was reading a book, and she's always reading a book every night, and it's like, I have a better life than her. And then there's like some sort of bouncer who's always getting ready to go out late at night with all the black on. He looks like a bouncer. So I was watching all this life going on. I thought,
Did you witness a murder while you were doing this?
Yeah.
it was like that sort of Sliver film where that bloke had loads of tellies watching
Yeah,
people's
sure.
lives. So that was going on in my mind, and then I was washing up, and I picked up the plate, and I thought, oh, it's amazing, isn't it, the human body, the way you can just sort of, I want to pick that up, and you do.
Yes.
And the way your hands work, right?
Yeah.
You've got 5 little digits, but it's just the right amount to do what you've got to do, right? So I'm cleaning the plate.
Sorry, Carl. Stop. It's just the right amount. Might be one of the most genius things I've ever heard said. I would love David Attenborough to phone you up and say, Carl, how do I word this about the evolution of the mammalian front limb? Just go, we'll just say it's the right amount.
But it is.
It is,
One
of course
extra
it
would
is.
get in the way.
Yeah.
And one less would just make it that little bit more tricky when picking up a bit of a slippery dish.
Sure, or buying gloves. Yeah.
A slippery dish.
So then I was thinking, right, imagine like going to the doctors and they're saying, yeah, everything's all right, your heart's good and everything, but
Your art's good? What, your Larry's, or?
yeah, your heart, you're in good form and what have
Sure.
you. It's good news. I had Jono in earlier. He's not looking good.
Yeah. I had Fat Swallow.
But you're all right. But your hands need to come off.
Right. Blimey. That's bad. Like, I'd get a second opinion initially.
But a better good news, I've got a nice pair of feet I can
Sure.
sort you out with.
Yeah.
And he puts them on, and then I was thinking, right, first of all, washing up, what would that be like? But
Steve.
that'd be
It's
tricky. And then the second thing was, it'd probably ruin the sort of the shape of your jumper.
Because you have to keep putting the feet through there. Yeah.
And then I thought, but I could still cycle in
Okay.
to work.
You could run in.
Well, that's the thing.
You'd be really fast.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought I could still cycle because I could balance, and then I thought, but the only thing is I probably couldn't pull the brakes. Because of the little short things.
Yeah.
And then, like you, I thought, but then again, you're running in half the time. So that's what was going on in last night.
Right.
That's what I was thinking about.
Did you
How
ever...
long did this take?
Well, how long does it take to wash up?
Right. Because I imagine you just being there for, like, all night.
Probably 25 minutes.
How long did the little Chinese fella dance for in his pants?
He's always doing it. Last night he was at it for like 10 minutes.
Just, yeah.
And his girlfriend never sits in the same room as him. She's always sat in the bedroom.
She's going, you dancing pants again, I go in next door.
Well, she was in the bedroom. She's always in the bedroom, sat on the floor, on the mobile phone.
Right.
All the time, yeah. It's weird how people's lives are just like, it is like that Groundhog Day thing. It's like, you know, he's jumping about in his underpants. The old woman's sat there reading a book.
Yeah.
And that's what got me thinking about my life.
Do you think she ever
Are
goes...
you sure she's not dead? Every time you look down there, she's just flicking through she's just reading this book. The pages never turn. She never seems to finish it. She never moves from her chair.
Are you sure the Chinese
Her
girl's
cats
going...
are dead around her.
I'm going into next door again. That little round-headed
the
fella's
smell.
looking in. He's looking in at me. The bouncer goes, "Don't worry, love, I'll go and beat him up." But he's always
true.
getting ready.
That's true, though.
They see you staring at him, washing up, going, "I could have feet here," and they get scared. The old woman's dead. Oh,
Carl,
dear.
can you tell us roughly which neighbourhood you live in, so that we know?
It's central.
Central, is it?
Yeah.
Wow, imagine if that little... Was he a Chinese fella, did you say?
Yeah.
Imagine if he was listening now. I'd love him to call in and explain his actions.
Well, he might be on some other radio station talking about a lad who's always washing up and looking at his hands in a mysterious way.
But do we have this doctor that would go, "Well, all right, Carl, you can either leave them as stumps, or I've got a little pair of feet." Why? I mean, I told Jane this, and Jane went, "Is that the only choice? You could say, could I have some dead man's hands? Have you got any? Where do you get the feet from? Where do you get the feet from? Can I have? What would you rather have then? Human feet or monkey paws?"
Well, I mean, that wasn't an option last night. That if the doctors said...
No, it wasn't an option last night, but don't forget, it's in your head, Carl. This didn't happen.
No, but I'm just saying, at the time, that's all the doctor had to offer.
But you know, it's your head, you can go anywhere. No, it wasn't a real doctor to offer. It's in your head, you can go anywhere. You're not trapped.
Yeah, but if you can do anything, then you'd say, "We'll sort us out some other hands."
Fair point. That's fair record.
We gotta come back to this. Someday, XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais.
Lads, can I just stop you there straight away? Because
listen.
the record finished before we'd finished chatting about what we're going to do next.
We're gonna do Carl's stupid competition again. We're just trying to get the... I think that...
What are the rules?
Right,
because last week it was a shambles, Rick.
I know, it was too easy, that's
the
why.
week before, I should say.
I think people should phone up now and be held in the queue, and then he should have the clue. Otherwise, because people are just phone up when they know the answer or not.
But how is that entertaining to the listener? That's what I'm going to throw back at you straight away.
I don't think this is entertaining at all. I just think people might want to talk to Carl for just a split second.
The way we'll do it, right?
Yeah.
Right. This is me role here, right? This is the way we're going to do it.
Right.
We're going to say, if you want to win The Office on VHS, right?
Yeah.
You can call
Don't
it now.
say it like that. Like it's a
don't say it
rubbish
like-
prize.
There is some... If you get the DVD, there's some special frottage. Alright, so... It's impressive.
Right. So they call up now on 08 700 800 1234, right?
Yeah.
We bung on a bit of Elton John in a bit, right? We line up two
Look forward
callers.
to that. It's a beautiful track.
Yeah. We line up two callers.
Yeah.
Right. And then we have them on the air and we say, right, I'm going to tell you the little story. You've got to tell me what song it is. And they're playing against each other.
Well,
Right.
could they be up at the same time then, so I can speak at the same
yeah,
time?
of course, yeah.
But how can they play against each other? Because they haven't got buzzers or
It's the
anything.
first one. They can say the name. They can shout out the name, and it's organised.
Have they got as many goes as they want?
No, I think they should have one go at a time, and then the other person can have a go, and then they can have another go.
Yeah.
It's like duelling.
It's like duelling.
And if they don't win, no one wins this week. We're not giving away prizes willy-nilly.
Sure.
You know, but we can give one away next week again.
Because you know,
Maybe
The
give
Office
away-
is not costing us anything. Because we were, involved.
I know,
we can get
but
as many copies as you want of that.
I like
Seriously.
it. I like it when,
We got them coming out of our...
Do you think the listeners are usually in on sort of board meetings like this? Or do you
I said this before, guys. I said before. We should do this off air, but you refused to try.
Imagine Chris Tarrant going, "Hold on, what? They can. What do they do?
They can phone a friend.
They just phone a friend. Look, come down. Right, okay. Look, we haven't got this.
We've got this sorted.
What
Phone
if
up
you
now. Phone up. We'll play some adverts. Phone
Yeah.
up now.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the plan then.
Okay, we're going to have a beautiful track here. Continuing our...
Wait,
whoa,
whoa,
hold on, wait. Steve.
Go on.
Right, I've said your name 5 times now. I don't need to mention you at all next week. Right? We're going to play Elton John, continuing our sort of thing of don't diss them just because they're old and bald now.
Yeah.
They used to be good. This is a beautiful track. I dissed him, didn't I?
Yeah.
Called Tiny Dance. So we're going to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
Enjoy
listener.
that.
And then,
if not the
now,
show.
Steve, what were you going to say?
Thanks for asking. I was just going to say, what should the audience be doing now? If they're listening at home, they want to play the game, what should they be doing, Carl? Should they be phoning
Say
you
the
now?
phone number
They
again.
should be ringing 08700 800 1234.
08700 800 1234.
And 2 lucky contestants get to play your game.
Yeah, what's the song?
What's the song that Carl's thinking?
Can I give you a clue when you call up? You've got more chance of playing if you don't sound like a mentalist.
Exactly. Most of the people that phone sound a bit like Carl. We're not interested. We don't want those
No.
sort of people.
Yeah.
We want people who can, you know, who are maybe eloquent.
Why you watch me in my pants?